Now I know the feeling of what it is to lose a child, and when just so afraid that I may never see Honey again. So, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just walking my dogs and I thought, why not just record and, you know, just have a conversation. I know the lighting sucks. It's early in the day, but Honey and Toby, oh my gosh. So Honey is still not good on the leash. Toby's not really that good on the leash either, but he's just not as okay. And we're peeing. Nothing came out, but okay. So yeah. There's a lot of shade in my area because there's so many trees. And it's so nice. Honey, can you wait a little? Like, I know you want to go, but you can't be walking too far ahead. Let me tell you, this is a little story time about little Honey. So Honey is a little popular in our area with my dogs. Like when I let them out, I let Honey out. And Toby usually stays mostly inside because he used the bathroom inside and Honey potties outside. So usually every day when I let Honey out to potty, I have like this long, like 25-foot leash for her that I attach to her, like her harness or her collar. But I prefer using the harness because I don't want her neck to be like hurt because she usually pulls. So every day when she goes potty, I hook her up to the 25-foot leash outside so she could like run around, play, potty, and then I clean it up, right? Sunday, I let Honey out and Toby out, so they're both out, you know, doing their business. Oh, so yeah, so I clean up Toby's poop. I go in and flush it. I go outside, I clean up Honey's poop, and by the time I come back outside, Honey's gone. So Honey leash is there and her harness is there, but she's not on it. And her harness wasn't even like detached. It looked like she slipped through. So I start to panic. Usually this is not the first time it's happened, and Honey's like a runner. Like Honey will quickly just run because, and if she sees you coming after her, she'll run further because it's like a game. I don't know if it's like a puppy thing. I usually see her because she doesn't go that far. Like the last time it happened before this time, she ran across the street and I quickly picked her up and she was still trying to run. But this time she was nowhere in sight. So I'm going around. I quickly put Toby into the house. Toby's my Yorkie. I put on like some boots. I don't know. It was warm too. I just put on whatever because I had like flip-flops on. I put on boots. I put on my hoodie. It was really warm, but like I said, I just put on whatever so I could quickly like go. And I'm going around yelling, Honey, 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 and I don't see Honey. So I'm going around the neighborhood yelling Honey, and I'm panicking, and look, like Honey has a microchip, and I called the office, but the office did not answer. And I don't know if I was just calling the wrong line or whatever, and I was just freaking out because it was Sunday and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't report her like gone. Like I have to put it online, or I have to call Monday. Like I don't know. Like I was just freaking out. Like, man, you guys, like that was just so scary. And my mom, she was home and she hears me from her room. She was just like, why are you yelling Honey? What happened to Honey? And I'm like, Honey's gone. And my mom, she quickly like dresses up and comes outside. I didn't wait for her, obviously. I was just running around the neighborhood, and I know like my mom was running around the neighborhood too. And sorry about this lighting. Hi. Hi. On the other side. Sorry, my neighbor, nice neighbor. All my neighbors seem very nice. Was talking to me. I met her for the first time. But yeah, back to Sunday. Neighborhood for her. Neighbors are like, one neighbor's like, no Honey here. And one lady, she's like, oh, you have a white little dog? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I saw her. She's so energetic. I couldn't pick her up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then in the distance, I heard Honey like yelp. It's like a bark and like a yap at the same time at some big dogs. And then I started walking in that direction, but who knew that while I was walking in that direction, Honey was on the other side of the street because my mom saw her. My mom called me and was just like, oh, Honey came home. I quickly came home And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was so relieved, but I was so in shock. Like, I don't know, like now I know the feeling of what it is to lose a child. And when
I just wanted to explain that
my
when I said
mom,
that I know what it meant to lose a child, obviously I don't know the full extent of losing a child. I'm just comparing it to how I felt when I lost Honey, because Honey is like my child even though she's a dog. But that is it.
like I remember there was times where I've like, my mom has told me to stay somewhere and I didn't, and I'd walk away. I was so afraid that if it became night and we didn't find her, something bad could happen. There's bobcats and hawks and like coyotes in our area. Something attacked her. Like, that's just scary. That's so scary. But I was so happy she came home. But in some way I felt like it was kind of meant to happen, even though that's like a bad, twisted way to think of things, because after that I met like some of my neighbors. During the winter time, I didn't get the chance to really introduce myself to like some neighbors, me and my mom, but my dad met some neighbors. He always know neighbors, like he always meet people. But it gave us an opportunity to introduce ourselves to a few neighbors. So the lady who saw my dog, I went back to her with Honey and Toby. It was just like we found her and she was happy and we introduced ourselves. And then my other neighbor, who was just like, oh, no Honey here, he was just like getting ready for a barbecue, so he was like a little distracted. I went to him, introduced myself, and he actually met my dad, and he's actually from the Bronx too. Sorry again for this lighting. He's from the Bronx too, and he was actually like near area where we live. Like he was in the area that we lived, which was really shocking. So they just recently moved, and we introduced ourselves to two other neighbors. And also when I was looking for Honey, there was kids playing outside and they were also like nice too. But yeah, that's it. I know this vlog is probably pretty boring, but thanks for watching, you guys. Okay, bye.